If you're tuning in for the first time, this is Solar Titans. It's a deck builder that pits two capital, spaceships against each other, and you're building. You start with a ship that has a basic design, and throughout the course of the game, through the traditional deck building mechanism, you're getting cards from the market. Some are ship cards that you can add to your ship. Other cards are called crew cards, which provide you abilities to enhance the turns you take in some way, like getting more gold. And the goal is to destroy the command deck of your opposing ship before they destroy the command deck of your ship. I'm playing a solo game here, and this is the AI ship. And you can see my ship over here is already taken quite a beating. Oh, these cards are all what are called disabled, meaning they're really not providing much of a purpose. So I'm kind of in dire straits, whereas the AI ship is it's 100% repaired right now. So I have my work cut out for me. Now, already I've done 3 other playthroughs of this same game. You can watch those videos. They're in the live section of the Talking Cardboard YouTube channel. My third session, unfortunately, I didn't have audio for the first 28 minutes. So if you maybe you were just watching that and skipped this one because you wanted to hear audio, so I apologize for that. But you can still at least, of course, watch along as I'm playing the game if you simply are curious about how the game works. So with that said, let's get into it. I left off my last session with having to decide what cards I want to, and I gotta turn this autofocus off. So I apologize, I didn't take care of that. Already, but that gets really annoying. So already I drew my hand of cards, and I just never did anything with them. So this is a ship armor that I can put somewhere, and the question is where. If we look at my ship, I do have this nice piece of 3 armor on this column, so I don't think there's a benefit. Like, I could fill in this gap, but I don't think there's a real benefit to doing that. But on an opponent's turn, you can disable this card to save an attached 1 shield card. So I'm still wondering if it makes sense for me just to put it in the middle. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking this, but I'm just going to do that. Maybe that's dumb. Okay, so I took care of that. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 gold to spend. Oh, and I forget. By doing that, this card... Oops, going back to my cards here. By what's called scrapping that 1 card that was disabled and putting it off to the side, that gives this card 1 more gold value, which is kind of a cool ability. So I now have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gold that I could spend a mercenary, and I'm realizing I maybe need to buy some of these what are called mercenary crews, which allow me to actually arm weapons. So I'm thinking I just do that. So for 6 gold, I'm gonna buy 1 of these mercenary crews, add it to my discard, and then I'm also have 2 gold left, so I'm gonna buy this boost laser, which is the most basic of lasers, except I guess it can spend 3 gold to boost it to 2. So that's 6 gold worth of cards, and that's what I had available to spend. So I will go ahead and discard my played cards over here. And now it goes to the enemy's turn. The enemy drew a weapon ship card. So that... Oh, I always forget to refill the market. And at the end of my last session, I was saying this game was looking to be a stalemate. Technically, I do lose once I've drawn all the market cards here, which there's still some left. There's still actually a lot left. But eventually, the game will come to a conclusion one way or the other. So anyway, enemy's turn. They drew a weapon card, so they're going to do an attack and upgrade turn. First, I see if there's any juicy targets for them to shoot at, which there's not, so they're going to take out armor cards. And I go one at a time. I'll start with their 2-value weapon, which is this cannon, or what's it called again? The mass cannon. I'm going to have them, I guess, take out this nano... what's it called? The nano plate. That means now it's the Styx missiles attack turn, and that can only do 1 damage, and there's no... Oops. Well, I guess that's still okay. Yeah, because I was like, oh, maybe I exposed this, but this takes 2 damage to hurt, so it's still safe from the Styx missile, meaning there's nothing that the Styx missile can do. So then, the enemy ship turn is done. So that means they check to see if they add this to their ship, which they don't because it's only 2 gold and it needs to be higher than that. So they draw for their next turn, which is a non-ship card. It was a boarding pod. So since it's a non-ship card, I scrap that, and then I draw again, and it's a weapon. Ooh, this nano cannon. Only 2 gold. Freely move. Oh, that's cool. So it's the same, like the nano plate where you can move it around on your ship. So, unique idea for a weapon. All right, so that means it's my turn. I will go ahead and draw. Draw up 5 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I drew a heavy cannon. Which I'm tempted to play. Ugh. Yeah. I'm tempted to play that heavy cannon and use it this turn just to start. But geez, there's so much I need to do damage-wise to really make a dent into the enemy ship. So I could play it, but I don't know if it's worth arming this turn. But yeah, so I'm eyeing this spot right here to place this cannon because it's then behind my level 3 armored diome plates, so it's pretty protected. And thankfully this is a 2-weapon shield card, so it's protected from the Styx missile. That can't do any, because it technically could be attacked from the side, but the Styx missile only does 1 damage, so it's safe from the Styx as well. But looking at the remaining cards that I have, I could spend all 4 gold and get something. I'm trying to think, did I get a link laser? So I have a boost laser and a link laser. Well, I have a link laser in the market is what I meant to say. Looking at a bunch of sentinel plates, that I could get. Some standard plates. But I'm wondering if I instead just go ahead and use the ability of my crew coordinator. Or if I buy up some hauling crews. Maybe I go ahead and buy some hauling crews. Or I buy another mercenary crew. Jeez. I'm going to go ahead and buy... Find the juiciest of targets. Are you talking for the AI ship, John, or the or my ship? So I'm debating if I use the ability to squat, but my hand's already, so I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6 cards in my discard pile. So I feel scrapping a card doesn't even make much sense because I already have hardly any cards in my deck. So then using the 4 gold I have to, or I could use it for a kinetic plate. So because I'm eventually going to start, every turn I'm likely to lose some armor here. Or I could spend all 4 and get another mercenary crew so I can potentially actually shoot twice in one turn. Because right now I only have 1 mercenary crew plus my 2 arming crew guys. So I could, that's only enough for 1 weapon attack. And I'm for sure going to have to be able to do more than 1 weapon attack if I actually want to do something useful. So there's a lot of options here. Or I could get 2 different plates. That really beefs up my ship. I think I might just go with that route, getting 2 standard plates. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Technically, it's 1 at a time, so I'll say I buy this standard plate for 2 gold, and then I draw. And it happens to be a heavy cannon, which actually is I do like that weapon a lot. Because it's the 2 shield. And then I'll get another standard plate. So that's my turn. Now we go to the enemy ship. And since the enemy drew a weapon card, they're going to do an attack and then upgrade. So first, they see if they can blow up anything juicy. And they can't, so they just go for armor cards. And now I have to actually be a little strategic here because, I'm going to have their mass cannon blow up this card or disable it. Because the Styx missile now is still useless. If I had the cannon, they'll blow up that shield card, then, or standard plate card, then the Styx missile would be able to blow up my crew quarters, so I don't want that to happen. And then we look at the value of the ship weapon card to see if they add it to their ship, but it's only 2 gold, so they don't, so they discard it or scrap it, so then they draw their next turn, which is another weapon, so they will be attacking me again on their turn. Back to me, I have a exhausted deck, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. And I always, one thing I'm curious about when it comes to deck building is how much time people spend shuffling their decks when they need to, because I do like deck builders for sure. It's just but that part always kind of annoys me. All right, so salvage crew, standard plate, which we'll definitely use, hauling crew, boost laser, and cargo crew. So right here is a perfect example of, oh my gosh, yeah, this really stinks because Okay, this is gonna. So I'm a little unsure how to handle this because I have my boost laser that I could put on my ship, but it's pretty. It's going to be hard for me to find a spot that it's protected as of right now. Although I do have some limited options available, I think, when I look at my ship. Because I'm looking at the boost laser. The first spot that I want to. That comes to mind is putting it here because it's got 2 shield cards in front of it, but that Styx missile can then attack it from the side. However, this shield card says I can sacrifice this shield card to save, or this Sentinel plate. I can sacrifice it to protect a 1 shield ship card, which is the boost laser. So I could have the Styx missile attack this and then disable that to save the boost laser. And then I mean, I don't know. I think that's kind of what I have to do. As far as I can tell, it's my only option unless I'm missing something. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now, then I have to scrap this card. So by scrapping that card, I at least am adding 1 gold value to my salvage crew. And there is an autocannon that I'm eyeing. Now the hauling crew I could use to move around my ship cards, but I don't think that there's value in doing that either. And in the standard plate, I think I'm putting it in front of my. There's really no reason to overthink this. So it's going in front of my crew quarters. So that's another card another disabled card I've scrapped. So this card's now worth. Oops, just so you guys. So I've scrapped 2 disabled cards, which means this now, my salvage crew's value is 3. And then I could potentially have 6 total if I don't want to move a ship card, which I don't think there's any reason to do that. So I have 6 gold left to spend. Now looking at what I can buy. I have 2 Sentinel plates I could go for. I mean, I could buy both. I don't know if there's value in me getting another heavy cannon at this point. I could do an attack off the cuff and blow up at least this card, but I don't really know if that is worth doing or not. But then since I have 4 gold, yikes. It's really hard for me because I can 4 gold and I'm like, man, I want another mercenary crew. So for the future, I could actually do a big wombo combo attack because it'd be great if I could use 2 weapons in 1 turn. But at the same time, if I go for the mercenary crew, I'm worried about the longevity of, every time it's attacking, it can blow something up almost. I think I got to continue shielding my ship. Yeah, so I'm going to go with buying these 2 Sentinel plate. Well, 1 Sentinel plate for 3 gold. I flip, and I get the Styx missile, which is 5 gold anyway, so can't buy it even if I wanted to. So then, what's this? A solar battery. Disable this card to gain 1 gold or +1. Let me show you guys another unique card here. Disable this card to gain 1 gold or +1 attack level for a laser weapon this turn. Interesting card. It's cheap. yeah, if I had like a good spot for it, it'd be a cool card to have, but I don't think it's something I can utilize at this point. So that's my turn. Discard the cards that I ended up using, and now we go to the AI's turn. They have they have a weapon ship card they drew, so they're going to do an attack and upgrade. So the Styx missile does have a juicy target, which is my boost laser. So it's going to shoot my. It would blow up my boost laser, but the ability of my sentinel plate is I can instead disable my sentinel plate to protect my boost laser. So I'm going to do that. Then the mass cannon is going to attack, and it could either technically go after my standard plate, either this standard plate or this standard plate. And I don't know if it matters too much which one. I guess I'm just going to do this one. And then it's not going to equip this weapon, so then we draw for the next AI turn, which I drew a crew card. So since it's a crew card, I scrap that, draw another, and it's still not a transport crew. Interesting. This is kind of a cool card. 1 gold and card you purchase goes to the bottom of your draw deck instead of to the discard pile. So if you want to cycle, but again, not a ship card, so that gets discarded. We draw another card. Okay, so a weapon, so it's going to be attacking on its turn. Goes back to me. All right, so I have 1. Oh no, 2. Oh no, 3, 4, 5. This is terrible. Terrible draw. Yikes. Very bad. Well, it's not game over, but well, I think I'm going to use the crew coordinator's ability. So I'm going to use this gold and the crew coordinator's ability to scrap a cargo crew card, and then I have 2 gold left to spend, which is enough for. I mean, I have enough for the solar battery or the hauling crew. Heck, why not get a hauling crew then? I mean, solar battery, I guess, could be interesting. I mean, it gives me 1 shield, which is important at this point, but all right, I'm going to go ahead and get a hauling crew with my 2 gold, and these get discarded. So it's back to the enemy AI, and they're going to inflict some heavy damage here. So first of all, that Styx missile is honed in. Well, actually, no. First, that beefy mass cannon sees this completely unprotected crew quarter component or ship card, and it's just gonna blast it. It's not even thinking twice. It's gone. It's dead. Rest of the game, discard 2 cards a turn because of this card being disabled. So no repair cards, of course, on that I have left. So good luck, Nick. Styx missile, next weapon, immediately has a lock on my boost laser, obliterates that. So AI checks to see if they add this weapon card to their ship. They do not. They draw their next turn another weapon, the mining laser. Back to my turn, and so my first 2 cards is 1, 2, and again I'm gonna be forced to discard 2 cards turn now because of my crew quarters being down. Jeez. It's not looking good. I think some of my remaining crew members are starting to get in the escape pods as we speak, fearing the imminent destruction of their ship. So 3 more cards. Hauling crew, cargo crew, hauling crew. All right, well, the standard plate almost doesn't. I mean, it does and it doesn't do anything for me. Armor's armor. It's never bad to not have armor, or it's always nice to have armor. But I have to discard 2 cards first, so I guess I discard a hauling crew and the cargo crew because I don't think it. I think I should play the standard plate just to help buy time. So I'll go ahead and, or not buy, but place the standard plate. And I'll just put it out here. And therefore this gets scrapped. And then I have my mercenary crew, which I'll go ahead and prep off to the side here, and then I have 2 gold. So with those 2 gold, I could get another hauling crew. There's nothing. The only thing in the market worth that I can buy is a solar battery. Or I could just scrap 2 cards off the. But by scrapping a card off the market, I'm actually also, speeding up the timer for the game, because then you're drawing new cards, and once there's 0 cards left to draw, I lose. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and buy another. But buying another hauling crew is not probably helping me either. So maybe I do nothing. Maybe I just, or I could move a ship card. I don't know, but that doesn't do anything either. So I don't even know if it's worth spending at that, because having another hauling crew to fill my deck I don't think helps either. So, and I forget there's like a, oh yeah, no, this chip cannot be repaired. Forgot that. Not that it matters. Some of these cards like this one can't be repaired. They have this little icon on the back. Alright, so that was my turn to go to the enemy's turn. They're attacking. The Styx missile has nothing, can't really do anything, so then that big shot cannon goes off and blows up this standard plate. And then they don't bother placing this weapon card, so it gets scrapped. They draw another weapon card, so they're going to be attacking again on their next turn. I draw my 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to discard 2, which, the choice is rather simple, I guess. I get rid of these cargo crews. Of course, I draw 2 sentinel plates. When I don't necessarily, I mean, I need them, I don't need them. So I'm just going to place, I'm trying to think if there's any place worth high, if there's any really good places to put these. Again, I guess here and And I'll place this one here. I don't know. And then I have the 1 gold for my crew coordinator, but just like last turn, I don't know if there's value in really doing anything with that 1 gold at this point. So I'm just going to discard it and be done with my turn. We go to the enemy turn. Styx Missile can't do anything, so their mass cannon's just going to blow up my sentinel plate here. So that's gone. It doesn't add this card to the ship, so they draw to see what they'll do next. And this time it's not a weapon card, it's just a regular ship card, meaning they're going to do a reinforce, which as of now doesn't mean anything. I don't think they do anything because there's no cards that are disabled. So back to my turn, we drop 5 cards. 1, 2, have to shuffle. 3, 4, 5, and of course I have to discard 2. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially, for the sake of augmenting the value of my salvage crew. I do have a lot of cards that are disabled that I could try to take off and well, maybe it is worth doing that. I could scrap, I don't know. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I probably want to get at least 1 mercenary crew and a heavy cannon, which is 8. So that means I'm going to scrap. So that's 4, and then I need to scrap 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means I have 8 gold. So I'm going to buy a mercenary crew, and then I'm also going to buy this heavy cannon. And then that's my turn. So it goes to the enemy. Oh, first got to refill that market. And on the market, or sorry, on the AI turn, replace a disable, replace a lower defense non-weapon ship card. So lower defense non-weapon ship card, which this defense only is 1, so nothing is lower than 1. So they just scrap this, and I think end up doing nothing then for their turn. And then they would draw for their next turn, which is a weapon, so they will be attacking me on my turn. So back to me, and I draw my 5. So 1, 2, 3. Really started off on a put myself in a difficult situation early on. 4, 5. I have to discard 2. So I guess I'll go ahead and just get rid of those. So then I'm left with potentially a lot of, 1, 2, 3, 4. Could get another armor. Um, or just get another mercenary crew. Because I do need to start. Well, actually, maybe this is more. Maybe this is a smarter idea. I keep the cargo crew. I get rid of the salvage crew. Because then I'll, have a hauling crew for 2 gold. And then use 1 gold from that to get rid of the cargo crew from my hand. And then that's my turn. Because these cargo crews... I don't know if that actually makes sense or not. Whatever. That's what I'm going to do. And that's my turn. So then, enemy's turn. They have... maybe you want to play it sometime with me. For those of you watching, I'm playing it solo. This game definitely can be played competitively. There's definitely 1v1, and I think there's even... The game has a 2v2 mode, and a 1v2 mode, and a 2v AI mode, so you can play it co-op. So a lot of cool, interesting options of gameplay. Capital Ship Duel, which is like the standard 1v1. Then they have a Free For All, which is 3 to 4. Hunter Killer, which is a 2v2 game basically, which sounds kind of fun. Titan Duel, which is 2v2, but instead of each player commanding their own smaller ship, each team is controlling one large ship, and then you're taking turns. Your team, you and your partner, when you take your turns, you're working on just your one giant ship together, which I think is kind of a cool idea. And then there's Titan Takedown, which is 1v2, which is one team or one player. It has a giant Titan ship, and the other team is 2 smaller ships. And a Titan ship basically is just a beefier starting schematic capital ship. So anyway, back to the game. Enemy takes their turn. They're going to shoot, and the Styx missile again ineffective, but the cannon. Well, let me take that. Yeah, the mass cannon blows this up, and then the Styx missile doesn't do anything. All right, so, and it won't add this. It is a 5 gold weapon card, but it's still not going to add it. So that's its turn. It draws its card for next turn, which is a kinetic plate. So it's going to a reinforce. So that means I draw my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, have to discard 2. So of course the easy option is cargo crew. Goes by. Alright, well, look at me maybe doing something, because I'm gonna of course put my mercenary crew off to the side. I have... Oh, this is going to be interesting. I'm just noticing something. So I have a hauling crew. And maybe I've misplayed this whole game. Well, we'll see. So I have a hauling crew. So I have 2 gold and the heavy cannon. So what I'm going to do here is I'm playing the heavy cannon right down the center column. And now I can actually do a full salvo of my 2 heavy cannons. So I have those two armed crew, two mercenary crews, and the frustrating thing about the mercenary crews is you do have to scrap them when you use them. But, at this point, that's fine. And then I have my regular arming crews. Both of those weapons are going to fire. So as much as this ship looks like it's about to disintegrate, it's still putting up a fight. So it's going to go right down the center here, blowing up that first card with one of the heavy cannons, and then the other heavy cannon is going to blow up to disable that card. So, hey, I did something. These two cards, the mercenary crews, then just go back to the mercenary crew pile. The arming crew cards go back to my pile. And I still have 2 gold I can spend, which, if I could, I'd probably get another mercenary crew because I need to be able to ideally attack twice in a turn. 2 gold on its own, however, doesn't really do anything for me, and therefore I'm thinking I just put it in my. I don't use it. So that was my turn. Enemy's turn. They're going to do a reinforce, and this time they actually have disabled cards that they are going to replace with that ship card that they drew. And it starts from the front column backwards. Unfortunately, it's a 2 armor card, but both my heavy cannons can attack with a 2. So they're going to place that card there. This gets discarded, scrapped. They draw their next turn, which is another reinforce, which is what it is at this point. I have to shuffle my hand, or my discard, as I am currently... my draw pile is empty. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to discard 2. Yeah, I think my best option, discarding salvage crew and cargo crew, because what I'm going to do is prep my arming crew for the future and then buy a mercenary crew with my 4 gold in the hopes I might get one more attack off in the future. That's my turn. Go back to the enemy. They do a reinforced turn because they have a non-weapon ship card. That's just going to go right there. Their turn's done. They draw the next card. I believe, so now there is no more cards to draw in the market. I think the end condition is when you need to draw and you can't. Oh, or if no cards remain in the main market pile, which is now the case. So I now officially lost Solar Titans. Wow, I mean, that was a few hour multiple session play of the game, but obviously I was trying to explain the rules as I played. I made some, what I would say, very basic mistakes in terms of strategy from the start. I didn't use my, these field repair cards, I'm realizing now, are pretty much meant for your core ship cards, not just for some random shield card or weapon card. And so I kind of wasted these way too early. I probably was kind of mismanaging how I built my ship too. And maybe I should have been buying more of these hauling crew cards early on and trying to cycle out the cargo crew cards sooner than later. But still a great learning experience, and definitely makes me want to play again just because now I have a better understanding of how the game works. I have a better understanding of how these ship cards, what kind of ship cards are in the game. I came into this game having no idea what type of cards you potentially are going to draw. So now I have a better understanding of that as well. But yeah, Solar Titans. So definitely check this out. First of all, thanks for watching. Definitely check this game out online. It was a recent Kickstarter. I imagine they might have copies available still to buy. And there's a lot of variability in the game from the different play modes, like I was just talking about. There's also different starting ship configurations for the players. So when you're playing solo, the enemy always has this kind of starts with kind of a standard model. But for the player ships, there's all these different types of layouts. So that's the layout that I was using, and there's several others that kind of then are going to dictate maybe how you strategize the ship cards on your ship as you play, and which I think is kind of cool. So there you go, Solar Titans. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this playthrough, definitely check out the Talking Cardboard link tree here, where we have the links for all of our social media accounts. We, of course, have a Twitch account and YouTube where we do live streaming, and then, of course, we're recording just regular videos for YouTube. We also have a TikTok, a podcast, and I think a few other, or an X or Twitter. So definitely check those out. And thanks again for watching. And if you have comments for how I could improve this, please leave those comments in the live YouTube video recording on our channel, because of course I'm continuing trying to optimize how I do these live streams. But yeah, hopefully it was informative. You learned how to play this game, and hopefully caught your interest, and you actually might want to get it for yourself. So with that said, thanks guys for watching, and hope